And for some of you Twin Exorcist fans, I'm pretty sure you're happy that we're finally returning to canon after like so long that we spent like dealing with like, you know, some of this training. I mean, honestly, I thought the first episode of the training was fine, but then last week went a little bit like kind of getting on with this, like kind of dragging a bit. But no, finally returning to canon, and I feel like the first half of this felt like canon, but that was probably in the manga. Like, it felt weird, like, after, like, you know, we had, like, this goofy antics between, like, the two characters and all that, like, having, like, oh, this whole thing about, like, she's like, oh, yeah, cooking and stuff like that, and it kind of felt like it went on for a good chunk of the episode, where it's like, oh, yeah, let's make fun of, like, each other's cooking, and it's like, oh, but then let's have a look at, like, Benio, and Benio making, like, this horrendous fucking brothel of evil. Like, it's the best way. Like Benio, like I said, I used to work in kitchens all the time and all that. I used to be like a sous chef. Like, I used to do that shit and all that. But I'm pretty sure when I was there, and like when there was other assistant chefs out there and all that, they weren't making fucking giant brothel things like that, where it's like, it hurt, like sprinkling shit in it changes the colour from like a nasty brown shit to a purple. Never do you have anything that's fucking purple unless you're making some fucking blueberry shit or anything like that. You don't want anything like that's just not gonna happen right there and all that. You just don't want any of that shit next to you. So like we did get to see a little bit of their training from the start, and a little bit between like Benio's like parents like from the past. This is kind of why she was like so hung up with like what we see with like Rokuro, because he was like, oh, I didn't know, and I teach you how to fucking cook and all that. It's like, oh yeah, the parents thing, yeah. We find out that they, you know, which is a very fucked up thing, like where it's like they got caught by Kagari, and it like was one that could talk, and it was like, you know, make a decision. I'm noticing as well that these Kagari, from what it sounds like, you know, first they're like mindless monsters, and then they seemingly really turn into like fucking Hueco, like from Hueco Mundo from Bleach and all that, where the hollows from there, like basically like you turn, you're originally a Menos Grande, like when you're at that level, then you break out of there and you like turn out to the next level, and then you go into like a Vasto Lourdes, which is the most human looking form of them all, which is like, I'm pretty sure that's how they look, because I'm pretty sure it's like, you know, it goes like that, literally Menos Grande, like Aducha, and then it's like that level of like Vasto Lourdes, and it's like, that's a lot of elements taken from there. Like, I don't know, it just feels like that's like, maybe that might be the structure that they have, because we do meet a actual one like these, like a humanoid size, and that has like the same corruption sign in his chest, and he has one of his eyes gone, like Kamui is his name, and he looks pretty fucking cool, and it's like, oh, by the way, you're the fucking Kagari that killed my parents like all those 6 years ago. And just like the way that Benio reacts, she fucking snaps. She just goes in, two blades like that, tries to attack him, and it's just like, he's still counting down for this little thing, like this little quirk that he has there, you know, and just fucking just smacks her, like flicks her leg, like she's like completely broken. And not, you know, when you normally have in an anime or any series where you punch someone and they just always just go flying straight. No, he punches her so hard, fucking bends on the fucking curve, back again, and I'm like, oh my god, she went like fucking like pinball style, like around like 5 different fucking barricades, and it's just like, you see it did a number on her as her face is just completely, like her right side is like completely covered in blood. Like, it's like, well then, that went down. It's just like, you know what, like the whole thing about his character was like, he's looking for the twin stars, he's looking for him. I'm really curious, like, you know, obviously he seems like he just wants to kill him, he wants to test his strength, and it's like, well, the fact that, you know, you've had someone like, you know, like this is your goal, whilst like Rokuro already had his goal, right? It's like, so it's like both of them have got the seemingly same level, and I'm guessing that's where like the two of them are at. This is like we're honestly gonna have to wait and see a little bit more about this character, but I do know for a fact that this is volume 2 material, which, you know, I see it like, because you see him on the front cover, and I was like, oh, that actually looks like a really cool cover, actually. I remember, like, every time I seen, like Twin Star X's volumes in a store or anything, I was like, when I seen them a couple times, the only ones that they've ever had is, like, the first 3 volumes, and it's always been, like, the first one was just, you know, alright, and then the second one, I always thought it looked really fucking cool, actually, and then the third one, which I thought was pretty badass, it's like, so yeah, we are now after episode 12 of the series. We are now covering stuff that belongs in Volume 2, but then as well we've covered longer stuff, because I know like Simon's not supposed to turn up for a while. We're supposed to have other characters as well, like, you know, like turn up, and like obviously as well Subaru, she isn't supposed to, like, she hasn't even like really made a big appearance in the series yet. So, you know, the whole show, like, as a lot of people have said, has been around the whole fucking place. You know, it's been back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like where they're going material. It's seemingly now, after everything, we're now gonna have a maybe solid bit to a canon to like returning to a normal pace and all that. So it's like I'm looking forward to, once I do read the manga, just seeing like, wait a minute, this happened like 6 episodes ago, like what the fuck are you talking about, like, and it's thinking like, well no, it's like, you know, it's a fucking, it's clown shoes mess and all that, like, when you think about it really, if you read the manga. But it's like, regardless of what, I think like a lot of the manga fans are going to be kind of a little bit happy now, because I think with Kamui's introduction, I think they did it right. I think he looks really cool, he's very intimidating, and then you have like Rokuro come in there, like last minute save with the fucking, like, obviously with the fucking bento in hand, smacking that motherfucker so hard like that, where you fucking snap the neck. And I felt bad for Benio, because she was crying, because she was like, I can't do this. Like, I couldn't do a single thing to this guy and all that. I couldn't do a single thing to avenge my mother and father. And just seeing her on the, like, a prideful person like her, just on the floor, crying. Like, just, oh, like, there, complete out of hope. And then just comes Rokuro going, ah! Like, just punches that guy right in the kisser. Like, it was like, that's a lot of damage you've done to that fucker. Like, I've got to give that credits to you and all that. You definitely know how to beat the shit out of it. And she's just walking there, like, with a broken neck, like, just go, yep, that's, you know, that's something interesting. You know, someone's actually able to do a little bit of damage to me. I feel like we should have a new game though. It's like, it's called, every time Kinaku is like annoying, I just like fucking prick myself with this little kunai here. Because my god, every time like he's doing that, I'm like, like, it's like, yo, like, I think now Kinako is at this point where I'm like, yo, like, this is I know he's an anime original character, and it's like, wow, like, if anything, you should have just been the adorable little thing. You got the adorable little design, but the shit that comes out of your mouth is just nothing but, oh, Benio, 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 like, you know, oh, Rokuro, you suck. It's like, come on, man, just shut the fuck up at this point, you know, you know how to do that, like. But overall, I feel like Kamui, his introduction's really cool. He's seemingly, obviously, like, you know, like, got a Kinkare, like infliction, like, from what we've seen from the last characters, and it's like, all that he was a Kagare, and now he's evolved into that, and he's possessed a human, like, it's something on the mad, but it definitely does remind me, like, now, as, like, there are some very similarities to like some Hueco Mundo shit. I mean, obviously with the Kagare world, you was gonna get like with the demons and stuff. It was gonna be like, obviously it was what it was gonna look like, and then obviously that the fact that it's like, oh, some of the hollows are like keep like, you know, some of their memories and some of like, you know, interactions that they did originally when they was human, and some of those memories and all that. But regardless of what and all that, I think this, you know, it was an enjoyable, you know, episode. I think it was a kind of return to form after like kind of 2 weeks was a little bit shaky a little bit like that, especially last week, where I would agree that's probably the worst episode we've had. I think I'll give this episode though, I think like that finale was pretty good. I will admit though, the first half was dragging a little bit though. It was like, yeah, I kind of get it, and I feel like this would have mattered more, and it'd be a little bit more funnier if we just didn't come back from like all this kind of goofy relationship stuff that we just had from like the past 2 episodes. So it kind of felt a little bit weird at that point. So honestly, I still think it's good. I think the first half was shaky a little bit, but I think a solid 8. Like, honestly, I think the second half greatly and vastly improved like a lot of that episode. If that was like just, if the first half was just that for the rest of the episode, it probably would have just been like a 4. Like, again, like, it was like, that's all they, like, it didn't feel too good, but I feel like the first half was like a 4 out of 10, and then the second half was like a 9. I thought that was a really good stuff, and it was like very quick into the series. I know it's only episode 12, but if that's material in volume 2, then fuck me, then like, you know, that's the big reveal of like finding out who her parents, you know, murderers are after all the time. It's like, you know, that was kind of quick, I've got to admit, anyway, like, you know, like, maybe like you might want to have a build up to that or something, or like something else, but it's like, you know, that's like, that's normally something you say for about like, you know, like 30, 40 chapters into like a manga or something. So it's like with a monthly, so I was really curious about that. But on that, let me know you guys think in the comment section down below. But that's all from me, so thank you much for watching. As always, you enjoy Twin Stars and other anime and manga as much as I do, then you know what to hit, like and subscribe. That's all from me, so I'll see you guys though next time.